Temperatures across Newfoundland and Labrador this evening certainly do vary widely. On the island in the east, we're above freezing. In the west, we're below. Northern Peninsula, well below in Labrador, into the minus teens and 20s. We look at the wind chills in Labrador. Wind chills into the minus 20s and minus 30s. Warm in comparison to what we saw for a good chunk of last week. And on the island right now, wind chills, thank goodness, are only as cold as minus 14 in St. Anthony. Over the weekend, many of us were into the minus 20s and 30s, in some areas even colder than that. Now in Labrador, it certainly has been cold, but you're going to get a little bit of a respite from the cold for the next couple of days with highs near minus 11 in the west. We go into Thursday, though, and the cold air does come back across the island. A few flurries for western Newfoundland Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, but otherwise it's a pretty quiet week, except for eastern areas where it looks like we get some snow tonight, flurries tomorrow, perhaps some more snow coming Wednesday, mainly for the Avalon Peninsula, and another shot at snow across southern and eastern Newfoundland, it looks like potentially for the weekend. So a fairly quiet start to the winter is beginning to ramp up a little bit. Satellite and radar picture showing that we have lots of moisture working its way across Atlantic Canada from this area of low pressure well down to our south. This is a powerhouse of a low. And when you see them down there like that, you can get a little bit nervous, but we can thank an area of high pressure to our northwest for keeping us low at bay, at least as much as it can. So for tonight, we see the snow moving across southeastern Newfoundland as the precipitation field kind of moves offshore. Pardon me again. A little dry in here. And by tomorrow morning, it's quiet. Area of high pressure builds in. That sets us up for a quiet Tuesday, but then it looks like the area of low pressure tracks close enough to the Avalon on Wednesday that we get another round of snow. Looks like about 10 centimeters may fall for some of the Avalon and northeastern Newfoundland during the day Wednesday before that kind of wraps up, and that will give us a break for Thursday and Friday, but then west coast flurries will kick on for the latter part of the week as winds again turn westerly from northeasterly over the next day or so. So radar imagery now closer to home showing that rain snow line is working its way down to the south. Has not reached the St. John's area yet, but right around Cape St. Francis and Pooch Cove, you're likely seeing some wet snowflakes beginning to mix in with that rain. It looks like in Carbonear, very well snowing. Heart's Content Barrens snowing up that way. And as we get towards Old Perlican, it's snowing. But Bay Roberts, not sure just yet. Radar says rain. As we take a look at the webcam, which I'll show you here in just a second, it does look like the Bay Roberts area is seeing some wet flakes on the camera. You can kind of see them right there. I think those are wet snowflakes in the Bay Roberts area, so we're kind of waiting on that changeover to happen. But it will as that colder air works its way down from northwest to southeast. So, Futurecast, blue is snow, green is rain. That line is pink. That's kind of the mixed line. So notice between now and 9, 10 o'clock, that rain-snow line sinks south, and by 9 p.m., temperature at St. John's has fallen to 0. Bonavista, you're at minus 4. Clarenville, you're at minus 4. Marystown, you're at 0. By midnight, it's even colder, so what is wet now will freeze overnight. You get the snow on top of it. It's going to get slick across southeastern areas overnight. And throughout 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, that snow is kind of slow to push off of the Avalon Peninsula, but it will do so. And by tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock, we are waking up to dry conditions and temps across the island, quite cold. Minus 6 east, minus 17 central, and close to minus 15 in Grand Falls, Windsor. In Corner Brook. Snowfall totals, not impressive, but 5 or 10 centimeters enough that you're going to have to clean off the car, clean the driveway tomorrow morning. But there's no real rush to get at this because it's not going to rain or anything on top of it. So if you want to hang off and wait, you can wait, but you're going to have to do it because it's not going to get above freezing for a few days after this. And as we go throughout the day tomorrow, sunshine across much of the island, minus eastern areas where flurries will keep going. And then by midday tomorrow and by the afternoon, things are fairly quiet across most of the province, setting us up for a cold Tuesday night. Temperatures across eastern Newfoundland tonight, minus 6 to minus 10. Winds gusting as high as 50 for the day tomorrow. Winds gusting as high as 60. Flurries on the Avalon and Bonavista peninsulas in those onshore winds. Otherwise, it's pretty quiet. Western half of Newfoundland tonight, temperatures varying, minus teens. Some areas falling into the minus 20s like Deer Lake and Badger. And then for the day tomorrow, highs minus 7 to minus 13. Into Labrador, temps tonight into the minus 20s and minus 30s under mostly clear skies. For the day tomorrow, breezy in the west and highs between minus 11 and -15, so a bit of a warmer day. Your 5-day forecast for eastern Newfoundland. There's that snow again, potentially on Wednesday. We'll keep a close eye on that. At this point, it looks like about 10 centimeters. Thursday, a few flurries, a quiet day Friday. Another chance of snow for Saturday. For Central, risk of flurries on Wednesday, especially up near the coast. Could be a day where areas like Point Leamington, Leading Tickles are kind of seeing some flurries, but as you get down toward the TCH, it's just kind of partly to mostly cloudy, and then quiet weather Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Western Newfoundland looking at a few flurries on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, and a quiet day on Saturday. And for Labrador, temperatures do cool down a bit as we go toward the end of the week in the west. And in the east, it's a quiet 4 or 5 days with temps between -6 and